Welcome back to Podcast of the Hero.
A podcast about Protest the Hero. Hey.
This episode is brought to you by Nightlights. Are you tired of waking up in the night and not being terrified by the shadow of your jacket hanging over a chair next to that broom you forgot to put away? Nightlights.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
We're joined by Tim.
We are joined by Tim. I don't have an introduction for you, Tim, because
you
you've
already
been
got
here
one.
before. Yeah,
you already got one.
Am I the first returning?
First repeat. Yeah.
You are the very first repeat.
It's an absolute honor.
What are you drinking there?
Tea.
Ooh, hot tea.
A hot tea in my nice Yeti mug that I got on the tour.
I also got a nice mug on the tour, but I used it on the very last day and left it in the dressing room.
Perfect.
What is your tea of choice, Tim?
Nothing fancy. This is just, I think, an orange pico, like a Tetley. Nothing in it. It's just it's a little bit bitter, but I was feeling a little bit sleepy.
I feel like if you put something in your tea, you're a child. You know what I mean? Like,
well, it depends.
Maybe British people will disagree, and they know lots about tea, and I guess China would know about tea as well. But what are you putting stuff in your tea for? It's already flavored.
You could put
whiskey in it.
You could put milk in there. Or it wasn't. HK was getting into the hot toddies. Isn't that tea and whiskey?
Yeah. But I guess what I'm referring mainly to is like milk and sugar.
Yeah.
Like, I remember as a child having little tea parties. My best buddy and I, like, he had two younger sisters, and they were always having tea parties, and we were like...
I like how he threw in the two younger sisters to cover that he and his best buddy were just the two of them were having tea parties.
No, that is what it was. Like, you let me finish here, Fritzy, and I will clarify that it was just two young men having tea parties.
Oh, good.
But they were having tea parties, and we were like, this looks sick as fuck, man. Like, they get to, like, drink this weird, more, like, adult beverage out of fancy little cups and, like, watch a movie or something like that. So we set up our own little tea parties, and we would have tea parties, but we would put milk and sugar in it. And it was like, this is the best liquid ever. It's just like a tasty little juice. And we had fairly regular tea parties. It was fucking sick. We'd watch awesome movies, like Ghostbusters or The Goonies or something like that, and we'd have a little tea party, dude. It was tight. But that is why I really think if you put milk and sugar in your tea, it's a childish thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with drinking tea. I drink tons of tea. It's strictly throat coat.
Well, we had this like Christmas tea that like was chocolatey flavored, and we also have this After Eights creamer. So those two paired really nicely. So we were having that.
I bet there's a minty liqueur you could put in that as well.
Oh, true. Yeah. Like, there probably is. That would make it even.
Yeah.
From Dement.
Or like polar bear. What that like? It's like used to do shots of it at the dungeon back in the day.
Okay, yeah,
I think it's called polar bear or something.
Yeah, I think that was like a mixed shot, right? That had some or like minty. Yeah, but minty we started doing this thing in the summer up at the trailer, and we called it high tea. But it just involved having some sort of THC product, and then like attempting to make tea, which like you turn on the kettle and then you'd like forget what you're doing, and then you'd like I'd look
just
in
boil
all the
the
cupboards.
Kettle dry.
Yeah, pretty much. Or I'd like go to look for the tea and like couldn't find it. So yeah, that was an event.
I love it. High tea.
It's a really good idea. You should patent that.
Yeah.
You could also do like you could do high tea and you could do low tea, where you just like all take a bunch of estrogen and fuck with your
deplete your testosterone.
Deplete your testosterone.
Yeah. Fuck with your hormone levels.
Yeah.
that's like high tea sounds like the place that would be in a strip mall, right? It's a dispensary and tea place where you could come hang out and like smoke weed and then drink tea in a strip mall, like in, I don't know, Hamilton.
Yeah, and they'll sell you like a
The
bag
Lime
of
Ridge
beers.
Mall. Yeah, a plastic bag of beer.
Yeah, after hours. This place we're talking about sounds great, dude. I'll go there.
Tim, Rody shared with us that you had to do some turd noodling.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, I heard that. My youngest had a nap on the bandwagon because it was a late night that night, so I wanted her to get a nap. And when she woke up, she went to the bathroom, and I went into the bathroom after, and it stunk.
Stink, stunk.
Stunk. So I don't think I even looked in the toilet. I was just like, did you poo in there? And she was like denying it. And then I lifted it up to check what was going on, and there was just a little present waiting for me in there.
Did you have to go bare hand?
No, I got a garbage bag and then I picked it up. And then what I did that I probably shouldn't have done is I just went outside and just put it in like a little garden in the bag and left it there. So it might still be a back of history for all I know.
Too bad you didn't have any of those like doggy bags on you.
Yeah,
because then you could have got away with just being like,
you should have thrown
dog
it.
Shit.
Just
you should have thrown it.
Thrown it up, Flojo.
That old Flojo.
How much Star Trek did Rody watch on tour on his laptop?
. Well, he'd go like I saw that he was in his bunk with the light on, so I don't know what he was watching.
I don't want to admit to what it was.
But I didn't actually see really much Star Trek. I think on the April tour, him and Heke, or maybe it was Australia. Yeah, it was Australia. You guys were watching more that, at least that I saw.
Yeah, we did it on both. I
can't say I saw any.
We only watched 2 of the movies. We watched First Contact at one point, and then we watched the one with Tom Hardy. Which one is that? But yeah, we watched 2 of the movies. That's about it. We didn't really watch any Star Trek.
There was one day that Heke and Cheese came back to the wagon, and they had mitts full of DVDs. And I think she's got some Star Trek. But it was mostly like Jason X and The Exorcist, or I don't know, stuff like that.
He bought every single Star Trek movie in a weird little package.
Okay.
And it was funny because I was like, why? Like, these are DVDs. These aren't even Blu-rays. Like, this isn't even the highest quality you can get this shit in.
These are VHS tapes.
But he wanted it, so.
Did Dave the Film Guy wanted me to ask if you immediately threw the Captain Picard doll that he got you in the trash?
I saw him ask that, and of course I didn't. I did, however, lose it. I put it somewhere in the bus, like with full intentions of keeping it. It was such a nice gift. I genuinely loved it. But I also did genuinely lose it. I know
where it ended up.
Oh, really?
I remember I found it, but I just left it where I found it, and it was under the bench seat of like at the desk. It was just like tucked under there. You know, the little table?
Oh, yeah. Fuck.
So it's probably still on the wagon.
It might be at Sheet Happens. I know Jonah and Mike, our tour manager, at the end of the tour took all the stuff that was left behind, including my podcast gear, and just left it at Sheet Happens. So it could be there.
I have the mic in my garage.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you grabbing that. I know,
is that the podcast gear, or is that?
That's the podcast gear. It's in like a case.
Yeah.
Is it? It's not just a bare microphone.
No, it's
just sitting in the garage.
A beige case.
Hell yeah. I'm so glad that's not lost. That's like a lot of money invested in that little case.
Those little hard cases aren't cheap.
Well, this one was, but the contents of it are not.
There's a SM7B.
SM7B. There's also a like a brand new fucking interface in it. The Scarlet whatever.
Like the 2i2.
And then there's like a 2 gig hard drive in there.
I should have cracked it open for this.
Yeah, all in all, it's probably about $1,000 worth of shit in there.
Tim, what was your favorite and least favorite venue to play on this tour, not including history?
Yeah, you got to take history out because it's an easy win.
Well, I already heard other people's comments on this, so I'm a little bit swayed, but I do agree that Orlando was just shot.
Yeah.
It was just, it used to be a grocery store, so it had the like tiled floor and it was like white floor.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, I heard that. I heard someone say that while we were there, that was like, oh, it's like a fucking abandoned grocery store. But I thought they were hyperbolizing. I didn't realize they were being genuine.
Yeah. And I remember I was going on stage and there like wasn't power on the stage to plug my stuff in. So just like little things like that. Like it wasn't a venue. It wasn't a ready venue. I remember like when they were like at the bar, they just had like IKEA shelves that just had drinks sitting on them, so it was like they just threw something together, but it also wasn't intended to be the venue for the show.
Yeah, surely they didn't have a valid liquor license.
Yeah, it was.
Would you vote for the mayor of Orlando?
No, not after he kicked us out of the venue for a suit and
like
tie.
Say you could only vote for him, and like we're just theorizing here hypothetically that like say his politics were progressive and nice and fell in line with everything that you believe, and the only other candidate was like a super regressive, like, ultra conservative,
alt-right white nationalist.
Now when you put that in there, that kind of changes things a little.
No, at the end of the day, it's like if I were mayor, I'd probably be like, yeah, I'm having my party here. I don't care if there's a band supposed to be playing. It's like, move them.
Yeah, true. So you're saying you would abuse your mayoral powers if you had them?
Yeah, I'm sure I would. To throw a party.
Yeah.
It could be much worse.
Do you remember think like the party would have fit better in the place where you guys ended up? Right?
Probably. It was probably better suited considering all they really needed was like a PA system with like a fucking auxiliary cable to plug an iPod into and a single microphone. Tim, do you remember the time in high school that the mayor of Whitby got mad at you?
Yeah, Marcel Brunel, which I have seen. So I was asking him, because I was an avid cyclist, I was asking him if there would be bike lanes in Whitby ever, and he laughed in my face and told me there is not a chance.
Yeah,
something to that nature.
Yeah. He was super rude and treated you like, I may have exaggerated this in my mind, but in my memory, he basically treated you like he thought you were just a stupid little kid with a dumb idea.
Yeah, but to my credit, there are some bike lanes now in Whitby.
Yeah, of course.
There should be bike lanes everywhere.
But you just thought it was wild. An absurd question.
Yeah, which is like you didn't ask it in like an antagonistic way. Like I remember you just kind of being like, have you put any thought into like adding any additional bike lanes into the town for people that want to use them. And he just like, not like he flew off, but he was like really flippant about his response.
How were you in a situation where you were asking the mayor a question?
He came to our politics
Did he like come
class.
to your school?
Yeah, he came to our politics class and telling about how sweet being the mayor was.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not a dumb question. It's like,
no, it's a really good question.
It's the most relevant question he would have got. Like, if I would have asked him something, I'd be like, hey, how big's your dick?
Remember his, like,
something that had to do with his fucking job?
His nephew was like a crust punk.
No, Danny I don't remember that.
He was one, like, remember Kevin
Danny
Crucho?
Brunel?
That was
I know Danny Brunel.
Yeah, I think he's related.
That makes a lot of sense. I love Danny Brunel still to this day.
Yeah, but it was just so funny. We're like, yeah. I don't really remember him that well, but I remember there's a connection there.
Danny Brunel beat up this guy that was kicking my ass one time. This guy was like throwing me up against a fucking soda machine, like just thrashing me around. And then Danny Brunel came up and he fucking buggered off and he was like, what just happened? And I was like, that guy just kicked my ass. And then he fucking followed him home from school and beat him up.
That's amazing.
I love Danny Brunel. I'm so glad you brought him up.
Okay, so Orlando's the worst. What's the best? I'm not going to let you get out of it.
The best, not including history.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would also agree with Underground Arts. But
yeah,
everything Cheesy said about it, but they also had the side room that had a baby grand piano that I got to play.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And that side room made for a really funny joke during the set.
The
because it was like, yeah. Well, it was
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
it was like an overflow room. And I had seen during the previous band set that there was like 20 or 30 people in it. And I was like, that kind of sucks that like they're just watching this big ass screen with the show on it and they can't actually see the show. But if that's your preference, cool. But so while we were on stage, I was like, I don't want to hear anyone in this room make a sound. I just want to hear from the overflow room. Right? So I was like, overflow room! And it was completely silent. We did it fucking twice. Nobody made a sound. And I like after the first time, I was like, there's people in there, isn't there? And like someone came back and they're like, yeah, there is people in there. And I was like, okay, let's do it again. And like I set the parameters very clearly and then was like, overflow room! Nothing. It couldn't have worked out better.
Who was the person in the overflow room going, nobody say anything.
Yeah.
Shut up, this is going to be hilarious. Everybody shut up.
Like, I'm sure there was like people in there just being like, woo. But like, because like if you're in the overflow room to begin with, you probably don't care that much about the show. So it's like, even this like silly little idea is not really gonna fucking sway your cheer.
Like at the exact moment that was happening, somebody in the overflow room's like, "Who mute on the remote? Who has the remote to the TV? Anybody have who's got the?"
But the rooms were connected. They would have heard me yelling through the PA. I like that idea that like they're listening to the sound coming through a fucking
through the TV
speaker system. Yeah.
When they can hear the PA.
Yeah.
It's a very well sound insulated room. Nothing's getting through there.
I will say a close second would maybe be the Music Box in San Diego. And like it wasn't any of the venue.
That was a really
the venue was cool, but the back room was also really nice too, and the staff was really nice. We had a bunch of others.
There was an elevator to the back room.
You need to walk through the kitchen.
Yeah, you walk through the kitchen and then press this elevator button. You get in the elevator, it takes you up, and when it opens up, you're in the back room, and it's like nice couches, big TV, fridges, and all sorts of stuff. But the only problem was it was the only room. So like I walked out of that room and Vin was just like asleep in the hall on the ground. And we
Nowhere
don't share.
else to be.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't.
It was a big room with
Yeah.
lots of seating area, but we don't share.
And like the door was cracked at one point, and like Vin's like peeking through the door, like, look at all the stuff they got. And then you like slam the door closed in his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jackie came in at one point and apologized because what happened was our door was locked and it had a code on it that we did not give to them.
Yes, of 100.
And then the door that opened to the venue on the other side of this like shitty little hallway was also locked. So they were just like, and they were all in there. They were like, they couldn't get out. And eventually they were like knocking on our door and I opened it and they were like, hey, we're trapped. Can someone call Mike? We're trapped. And I was like, yo, there's an elevator. There's just an elevator here. You guys can take it down. But
don't look at anything.
Look at us. Yeah. Eyes to the floor while you walk to that elevator.
That bottled water is not for you.
Yeah, no.
Keep your grubby little hands off it.
That
Tim,
was
what
a
was your
nice
favorite
venue.
costume that you wore on the tour?
Mm.
That's a good question. I don't know. I think Western Barbie was comfortable. It was sexy. I got to have my belly hanging out.
It was sexy, yeah.
The night that Rody did Shania and I did Western Barbie, we both had
That
our
was a
bellies
good
hanging
costume
out.
night. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
that was
the one
that
I
was
kept coming back to.
that was one of
Go.
like two or three nights where Ben did Ned Flanders and his Ned Flanders was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was special.
What? Where was that? Was that in Texas?
No, that was like the third night of the tour.
St. Paul, yeah.
So St. Paul.
St. Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was a small show, but it was a fun fucking show.
Yeah.
It was a lively crowd.
How miserable were you in your hoodie over your Phantom of the Opera outfit, your costume in Detroit?
Yeah, it was really hot in that venue. I don't know
remember
why I did
seeing
that.
you like come out to like do setup stuff, and you got this hoodie on over your whole costume, and you're trying to do this stuff, and everybody in the room is like dying because it's so hot, and you're like putting on extra clothes.
Yeah. That was before I figured out that you can just get changed into your costume after you set up your gear.
Yeah. It was night one.
like,
We didn't have it figured out yet.
But even during that show, I remember how hot I was in that like mask. I just remember sweat dripping down my face and it like just dripping off that mask. It was pretty bad.
That was
What was your favorite
miserable show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was fun, but it was real hot.
I liked all the people I met. I had fun before and after, but during was a nightmare.
What was your favorite audience costume that you remember?
Okay, yeah, this is kind of a random one, but there was a guy in Orlando. Believe his name was Tony.
I know
that
what
had a Whitby Dunlops jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And this was apparently it was a team that's like now again a team, but in like the 50s they played Russia and they beat Russia. And it was like a big deal.
It's wild to think that a Russian baseball team came over here and they were like, where should we play?
Hockey.
The small farming community. Oh, it was hockey?
Yeah, it was hockey. Yeah.
But it's still like Whitby at that time would have been like a small farming community.
I think it was in Russia. I found like footage of it on YouTube, but
So a bunch of farmers got together in Whitby and we're like, we should fly to Russia and play a fucking game of shinny.
I think so.
Holy, that's even worse.
And then they beat him. But did the Russians really like put the A squad out
I
there?
hope not.
I don't know. It was a big deal, though. Apparently, there was a big parade in Whitby when they came home and everything.
Wow.
So that was like just a pretty random, like, oh, like you've done some research, and it's like I can recognize your costume, and sent me down the rabbit hole.
That's a good costume and a good memory.
What
cherished memory.
What was the craziest thing you saw, like in the crowd, whatever, like while you were on stage, like just looking out at the people? Anything stand out?
Crazy. I hate questions like this.
What's the craziest thing you know?
What's the crazy? I don't know.
Tell me your weirdest piece of trivia. Think of a joke off the top of your head. Can you do some math? Let's do some really hard math.
Sure.
Okay.
What does Spider-Man do his grilling on?
Spiderweb?
A Weber.
Oh. Hey.
You see?
Can we talk about Timerity?
Sure.
Yeah.
What cities did you do Timerity in?
So the first one was in St. Paul in the Clown Lounge that was attached to the venue.
The Clown.
The Clown. I did a Calgary one. I did a Seattle one. I did LA. Philly, Toronto. I was supposed to do one in Cambridge, Massachusetts, but I left the person hanging and never solidified all the details, so I missed out on that one.
I thought you had it like all set up and everything, and you just decided not to go.
No, like basically, I just had to respond to the email and say, yeah, let's do it, and I just didn't do that. I think I did about 7.
How did it feel to you? Did you enjoy it? Did you have fun?
Yeah, I did. It felt great. When I would perform some of the interludes live, especially Mountainside, I got a lot of like performance anxiety. And after doing these Timerity shows, like I feel like it really helped my confidence.
That's good.
And I'm still working on
like when you would do them in like the live setting, like during the actual protest set.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it was the thing that I was like most dreading every set. And when I got past it, I was like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel a little bit more comfortable performing on my own in those environments.
Yeah. They were really fun shows.
Yeah, no, it was great. And like, I think like I want to be like kind of background music. And I know that some people want to watch, and I kind of want to control how people interact with it. And I know it's out of my control, but I don't want it to be people sitting quietly, clapping at the end of every song and whatever. I just want people to sing along and watch if they want, chat with their buds if they want.
So you don't want, like when people are talking, you don't want somebody to walk through and tell people to shut the fuck up. I'm trying to listen to this.
Yeah, you don't want security shushing any of your friends.
Well, no, for sure. Yeah, no, that was out of line.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious though.
Yeah.
So I know it was Jenny's favorite part. Jenny loves when Tim plays piano. So I felt very lucky to see that in Toronto, and it was a very fun time. Can I make a suggestion for future Timerity shows? In the same
Feel free
vein?
to say no.
No, I'm open to any and all suggestions.
Okay. You heard him, Fritzy. He said no.
All right. I won't.
No matter what he said afterwards, he started with no.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, give him your suggestion.
Do either of you? Oh, I thought he said no.
He did.
A display, like bring a monitor,
like a
thing that you like either
some
put
sort
in
of
front
visual,
or a little visual thing, And then on the songs that are like sing-along songs, you could throw just the lyrics up on there. So that people, because like, I remember what it was like, the Queen song that you did, like Bohemian Rhapsody, like everybody was sort of like, and, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
just.
Well, I was trying to figure out if I. Oh, go ahead.
No. Oh, I was going to say, if you don't know the words to Bohemian Rhapsody, that's a you problem.
Yeah.
It's like one of the most famous songs in the fucking world.
Yeah.
But
a lot of people need the prompt.
Yeah.
You know?
So what I tried to do
losers.
is I made these programs, and it just had a list of like all the songs that I was playing, so people could walk away. And then I tried to make a program that had like the key lyrics. But I don't know if people can read in a dark room, if they can be like reading off a piece of paper.
Oh, you know what you do? Put a little like a barcode on something that they can scan,
like
with
a
their
QR
phone.
code.
Oh, a QR
yeah, like
code.
a QR code, and then you could just have it on your phone,
and they can enter
like
it in their MyFitnessPal app.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. You could have it just like go to a little like web page or whatever that has the song, like the set list and the lyrics with each song, something.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to like print off these little programs every night. I like used Michael Kelly's printer, and it just like I printed one and it ran out of ink because it was like entirely black on one side with like it had the Halloween is for Always artwork as like the cover with like the Timerity guy in the middle of it. And I messed up his printer.
What was your favorite Timerity show, and conversely, least favorite?
Got to stay in the questions in the vein of the. Oh,
Toronto was the best attended, but I don't think the venue was the greatest for everyone to see. It was kind of just the people in the front could see. But that was, had the most like family and friends, and it was just like a fun time. But I think the Philly show, just playing on that Baby Grand and Cheesy getting shushed, of course. I think that was definitely a highlight. For some reason, the Seattle show was it just felt a little bit flat.
Yeah, it was probably the worst attended. I still loved it. It was a lot of fun. You played great, and it was fucking cool hanging out with people. But I would say, as far as attendance goes, that was probably the smallest.
Yeah, it was tough too because like in those side rooms, people go after the show to have another drink and just hang out. And then the people were buying tickets, and they were asking me, it's like, do you want to clear out the non-paying people that are just hanging in the bar? And I was like, I don't really want to do that, but I also don't want people that have a ticket to have people that are not paying to be in there.
Right.
So that was like a weird situation, but ultimately I told them to let people just stay.
Yeah. The only one I missed was the Calgary one because it was like further away from the venue, and I flat out got lost.
Yeah, you guys showed up and it was done, but you still made an effort.
Definitely tried. But yeah, there was a party bus that maybe Matt Spracklin drove there. Did you go on that party bus?
Yeah, I went on the party bus. I think it took like a couple laps there because like there was only like 10 or 15 people, but they just had like a PA speaker and they were blasting music, and they just had like lights and stuff like that. And it was a city bus.
Oh,
that
really?
Was just like decked. Yeah, that was just like decked out.
That's so funny to think that it's just like after the show, you just got on a bus with a bunch of people from the show.
Yeah,
I love it.
It was pretty weird. But yeah, it was a good idea for sure. And if you rode the bus, you didn't have to pay cover. So that was the incentive.
But how much did the bus cost?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like that gondola ride for the Chill on the Hill thing. We played a free fucking show in, where the fuck was that? Whistler.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like free, but like we were on top of the mountain. So you had to pay $80 to get the gondola ride to the show.
or walk up the mountain.
Yeah.
And did you guys, you didn't see a dime of the gondola fares, did you?
Oh, we got paid big time for that garbage.
It was Nestea sponsored.
Oh.
Yeah. So nobody saw us, and it didn't matter much.
Well, so this gives me an idea now for Timerity shows. Instead of trying to like find where's the venue, you just get a bus and you play on the bus, and the bus just drives around town, and the people like that want to go, like they just meet up to get on the bus, and then the bus just goes, and it's a party bus.
I like it.
Maybe it just drops people off at their house at the end of the night. You just go in house to house.
That's nice.
Like a school bus.
I was thinking of doing a Timerity show on the wagon when I couldn't find a venue.
That would have been great height.
Oh yeah. But
we should
figured
definitely
we could get
plan.
like 20 people.
Yeah, you could get standing room, 20 people in there. Yeah.
So you just be like in your bunk with your fucking piano, or you could stand in the aisle with the piano on a middle bunk and just play it like that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
But I think we should definitely do whether it's Timerity or just after parties or both after on the next tour, the next headliner before every day off. Because it's just like, it's that Rody Friday thing, Crew Year's Eve.
Yeah.
You get to go out and just like chill, meet like a handful of people. I love that a lot. Like going and meeting a handful of people at the shows, getting to fucking shake hands and take pictures and do stuff like that. And like not having to spend my whole fucking life doing that, you know? Like that was the nice thing, is that there was like a fairly limited amount of people and it was like widely manageable.
Yeah. That's what you got to do. No, you got to do prepaid meet and greets, like the big Kiss did, or like New Kids on the Block does.
We've done them before.
Yeah, you just do a prepaid meet and greet. You sell however many you want to meet and greet, and then that's it. And everybody else can eat shit and go fuck themselves.
We've been talking about doing them on the next tour so that we don't have to be in a bandwagon again. But we're throwing back ideas to really make it like worth people's time, so that it's not just like you're paying money to fucking meet us, so that it's like you're gonna actually get something out of it. And
I got it.
We've done that. We've done that before as well. Like we fucking had all this shit. Like you would get like a bag with all sorts of fucking stuff in it, basically the cost of your ticket and merch, and then like we would play dice with the kids and all sorts of fucking weird stuff.
It should be you get to eat a meal with the band, and everybody gets to come in and take one bite of a sandwich and then move on out the door.
They get to pick the band member sandwich they want to bite.
Yep.
Yeah, I think if we do it, we could incorporate a Timerity element of it, but then it's also a meet and greet. I also think there should just be like a pizza party like available. So people come in, there's pizza waiting, there's some drinks. Maybe it's at a bar so they can buy drinks if they want to have one or something like that, but then have a little bit of a set and something else. And
I think that's a great idea.
I would definitely pay to do that.
You would have to.
I know.
Yeah.
It's okay though.
No guest list for the VIP.
No,
there's no way.
No, I would 100% pay to do that.
Don't.
Why? I want to meet you guys. And I also want to greet you guys. Do either of you celebrate American Christmas?
No. And from the looks of Tim, I can tell you, no, he doesn't either.
I don't know the difference between Canadian Christmas and American Christmas.
Well, American Christmas is a faithless consumerism created to prop up otherwise failing corporations. Do you guys like that?
Oh, yeah.
But under the like meaningless facade of faithfulness?
Yes. Yeah, it's fake. I was just curious.
Yes, we do.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Did you what's on your wish list? Did either of you ask for a pony?
I asked for a droney.
You want a drone?
A droney. So it doesn't fly. It gallops, but it's got a 4K camera on it.
What would you do with a drone?
A droney?
Yeah.
I'd ride it.
Oh, it's that big?
It's the size of a pony. That's why it's called a droney.
Okay.
I've made it up, but now I want one.
It's like that Boston Dynamics thing. You know what I'm talking about? The Boston
Dynamics
that weird
robot dog?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tim, what do you want for Christmas is what he's asking you, I
Yeah.
think.
Well, I've been wanting to get an activity watch or an Apple Watch or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I used to use a Fitbit. But I met a guy yesterday who had this activity ring, and you just wear this ring on your finger.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it takes all your vitals and it tracks your steps and all of that stuff. And it like lasts for 7 days without, you can charge it once a week kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
So it's called an Aura ring.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Can
that's
you wear
the
it on
new
your
thing that I
toe?
want. Maybe. You can probably put it on your penis.
If
So
your
are you
penis
gonna-
and your fingers are similar size.
When you get it, when you open it on Christmas morning, are you immediately just taking off your wedding band, toss it over, and put the new thing on, and like you're ready to go?
I guess. In the pictures I saw, people wear it on their pointer finger, which is kind of weird.
Oh. That'd be
That's
cool if it had like a running LED like message you could put on it, and you could just wear it on your wedding ring finger and make it say Sandy's man.
In case you were
Just so
wondering.
people knew. Yeah.
Rody, did you really ask for a drone?
No. I asked for a droney.
Never gonna get away from this.
No, I saw my Christmas gift.
Oh, you just sound disappointed.
No, I'm delighted. I am disappointed in the lack of surprise. I was walking my son to school one day, and I opened the door, and it had been delivered.
No,
And it was sad. I'm not going to say what it is, because
you don't know.
The
It
more
could
I
just
think-
be in the wrong box.
that could have been for my dad.
Sure.
He's also asked for a droney.
That's a big
What's
box.
on your list, Fritzum?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tie this nicely into the pod and say my
It's a good time.
my calculated use of sound vinyl
Oh,
from Sheet Happens.
Beautiful.
You can go to Sheet Happens right this moment, I believe, and pre-order it.
Yeah.
It's real pretty.
And it is fucking gorgeous, dude. It's the best.
It's got like a
But you're
bunch
not
of
going to
pages.
get that for Christmas.
I'm not.
Well, like you're not going to have the physical thing in
Oh,
time.
I don't.
It's just a pre-order.
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care about opening gifts on Christmas.
What a sad, pitiful, useless.
I got this great. So at work, we're having we all
kidding.
work remotely. So like my meetings are like this, right? They're like these Zoom meetings, whatever. And they wanted to do a remote holiday party for work, where we all sit in front of our cameras and celebrate the holidays together.
That's going to feel too much like the early pandemic.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to sit there and, like, be like, does anyone want to play a game like Quiplash?
Yeah.
And, like, there's people going to be, like, drinking and, like, getting drunk and being inappropriate. But, like, I hate the thought of that, dude.
Yeah.
I hate the thought of that.
So somebody on my in my department suggested that all the management should wear Christmas sweaters, and I am not a Christmas sweater guy. So I went and bought myself a Christmas sweater that has "Christmas is canceled" with Michael Scott from The Office on it, and that's going to be my I'm a bit of a humbug, unfortunately.
How dare you?
I know.
I have to.
Sorry, Tim.
I have to admit, for II Music, I did propose a virtual Christmas party. But the one thing I think that will be interesting is I got one of our clients who's a singer. She's going to perform a couple songs.
Okay.
I had no reaction.
Are you gonna mail people?
Very much.
You're gonna mail people
very
slices
much
of
like
pizza?
Well, usually I just say you can order some food and then the company pays for it. So we just eat and we're gonna watch a couple songs and then be awkward. That's it.
Tim's audio's cutting out wildly for me, is it?
Oh,
yeah,
is it?
For me too.
Oh.
I think he's completely frozen now.
Is it any better?
He looks like he's wearing the Phantom mask.
I know, it's real creepy.
Oh, there he is.
Is it frozen?
No, your face looks
you're
great
back.
now. It was
Can you hear me?
terrifying a minute ago. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that was really weird because I was telling you guys about the party.
Yeah.
That's internet.
I was telling you guys about the party and there was... What? Hold on.
Screw your in and out.
Is it...
I'm 100% leaving.
Hello.
Tim, put it closer to your face.
The funny part is that, like, Riverside will probably capture his audio just fine.
Completely
and
fine.
Like, we'll just seem like we're acting very strange.
Yeah.
While he's talking normally.
Yeah.
We're just be like, whoa, dude.
I like this close up though. I wish
you
he
hear me?
had done this the whole time.
Yeah,
Like,
it just looks like he's taking a really nice selfie in front of his Christmas tree.
You guys can't hear me at all.
We heard that.
I'm taking my headphones out.
I think you're
What about
back.
now?
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you there?
My headphones died.
Oh,
I'm here.
Maybe that was
But-
it.
You can hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Same. It was the same.
So no,
I got to think
it
that
was
you're...
just great. I was explaining my party and you guys just didn't react to it.
Yeah, because we were both just being like, what's he saying?
What's he saying? Is he going to have a party? And there's going to be a singer? I was going to ask.
Don't get me wrong. It sounded like a very dull party, yes, but our reaction was not because of that.
But it was like nothing. I was like, nothing from you guys. You're just sitting there looking back at me.
Oh, man. Okay.
That's funny.
I have a game.
Woo!
Okay.
Since Tim is now a famous solo pianist.
Penis.
Pianist?
No T, just
penis. Tim, you're a famous penis. I thought I would ask you some questions about another famous solo pianist. Penis. Liberace.
Oh, okay.
Huh?
And all of a sudden the Liberace page died. But here it is. So we're going to do this. I have a few questions.
I don't know anything about Liberace.
You don't?
No.
Did you watch the Liberace movie?
No, of course not.
Okay.
I know in the 90s, people used to, love to, instead of calling someone gay in a derisive way, they would call them Liberace. They would constantly use it in a homophobic manner.
Yeah.
That's really the only thing I know about Liberace.
All right. So where was Liberace born?
New Jersey.
That's really funny because the first choice is Hoboken, New Jersey.
Really?
Yeah. Jamestown, North Dakota, L.A., or West Allis, Wisconsin? Wisconsin.
I don't know what the question was because I think my stuff cut out.
Is he frozen
I
again?
think he's frozen again.
Oh.
Hello?
Came back for just a chuckle.
Oh, am I there?
That's Rudy.
I'm going to turn off my Wi-Fi.
He turned his camera off.
Hold on.
Well, I'm going to say I'm surprised that I just assumed with a name like Liberace that he would be from, like, Italy.
Yeah, like European.
Yeah.
It is not. He's from America.
Is it a stage name?
No.
Am I back?
Sort of.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're asking where he's from? I would, if he is Italian, I would say New Jersey.
He's from West Allis, Wisconsin.
Oh, that. You know what? It seems right because it seems so wrong.
What is his full name at birth? Was it Abraham Leontis Kvasnica, Norman Louis Eggstrom, Liberino Zagoda Cecilia Mucci, or Vladzio Valentino Liberace?
Or B, because that sounded like
That's
one
all
long
one
fucking name.
I feel like this is a trick question, but I'm going to go with Norman.
Nope. It's Vladzio Valentino Liberace.
Okay.
Wow.
Too easy.
Yep.
I'm sure that was not like a difficult childhood growing up in fucking that area with a difficult name like that.
Which stage name did Liberace use in his teen years? Was it Patrick Ivory, Lee Lightfingers, Billy Joel, or Walter Busterkeys?
What were the first two again?
Patrick Ivory or Lee Lightfingers?
I like the Lee Lightfingers the best. I don't know if it's the right one.
It's Walter Busterkeys.
I wish it was just like Scott Hamilton.
Let's see.
Like someone with a wonderful name just fucking picking something so pedestrian.
Liberace describes his performances as classical music with what? With 99% more rhinestones? Without the powdered wigs? With the boring parts left out? Or for swinging lovers?
I like the rhinestones.
Rody?
I think it's swinging lovers.
It's with the boring parts left out.
Oh, that's cool too.
Which of these phrases is Liberace credited with originating? These go to 11? How sweet it is? Till the fat lady sings? Or cry all the way to the bank?
I think it's... Oh, I'll let Tim answer first.
I think Fat Lady Sings.
I was going to say that very same thing.
It's cry all the way to the bank. You guys are getting all these wrong.
All of them wrong.
All of them.
Fritzy.
Is this too hard?
Yeah.
In 1959, Liberace won 8,000 pounds in a libel suit against the British tabloid newspaper, the Daily Mirror. What, according to the suit, was the paper's libelous allegation regarding Liberace? He was gay. He was a cocaine user. He was involved in the mafia. He had taken his girlfriend to Mexico for an abortion.
Yeah, I'd say
A and D.
Yeah.
And
he said
D.
he was a gay man who took his girlfriend to Mexico for an abortion.
I'd say D.
It was A. He was
Yeah,
gay.
of course. Yeah.
But they said he was gay and then he disputed that?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
To say he was not. That was libelous to call him that. In 1963, Liberace was nearly killed in a costume-related mishap.
Oh.
What happened to him? Is it A, an electrical shock from a suit studded with tiny light bulbs? B, strangled by a tight collar put on while still wet that shrank under hot stage lights?
That's, Fritzy, I know you, and that comes from your mind.
C, allergic reaction to an ostrich feather cape. Ostrich feather contains allergens not present in other birds. Or D, poisoned by carbon tetrachloride while cleaning his own costumes in an unventilated hotel room.
Well, I'd say the ostrich feather.
Allergic reaction to an ostrich feather cape. Ostrich feathers contain allergens not present in other birds.
That is the answer.
You think that's the answer?
Oh, I'm saying, are you saying that's the answer?
He just wanted me to say it again.
No, that's what I'm getting.
No,
but
you're guessing the ostrich feathers.
Hearing it again, that's too detailed to be the one. I'll stick with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say A. The little lights.
No, he was poisoned by cleaning chemicals.
That was my second.
Good golly. Yeah, that was my second too.
Let's see.
Are you just gonna go until we get one?
I mean, maybe. I mean, I could do a real easy one. We could just...
What was Liberace's stage name?
Which
Liberace?
Which professional sporting event was Liberace involved in 1985? Did he perform with Barbra Streisand at the halftime show of the Super Bowl? Did he play the national anthems of the U.S. and Canada at the first game of the Stanley Cup Finals? Was he the official timekeeper at WrestleMania 1? Or did he play Take Me Out to the Ball Game in the style of several different classical composers at the World Series?
The last one
It's tricky shit.
Seems believable, but I feel like you're trying to beat us.
Masturbate us. Fritzy is the masturbator. Yeah, I would say the last one as well. It seems most probable to me.
Yeah, last one.
He was the official timekeeper at WrestleMania 1.
You know what? Right. I was going to say that because it seems so fucking far from reality that it had to be the truth.
All right, here we go. We're going to end on this one because I feel like you guys should get this one. What's this guy's? Scott Thorson wrote a book about his life with Liberace, which was adapted into a movie with the same title, Behind the what? Behind the casino?
Behind the rhinestones.
Behind the piano? Behind the candelabra? Behind the rhinestones.
That came to my mind before you even said it. I haven't heard of the movie or the book. But you said rhinestones earlier. I think it's that one.
Yeah, I'm in on rhinestones.
Damn it, it's candelabra.
What?
Fuck.
I thought I'd give you the easiest one. Like, it was a very famous movie that came out, like, that had a bunch of really famous people in it.
I told you I know zero things about
there you go.
Liberace except for things that I have gleaned from this very trivia.
100%.
I didn't know anything about a candelabra.
Neither of you know anything about Liberace.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Well, now we do.
Well, yeah. Now you know everything about Liberace.
Yeah. Gonna have to hear what his music sounds like.
It's mostly
classical
piano.
With the boring parts taken out.
It's just piano stuff. You like piano stuff, right?
Well, when Tim plays it, yeah.
I hate it.
You hate it? Tim hates piano.
I've never listened to Liberace. Maybe I should. Sounds like be up my alley.
Yeah. Maybe me too.
I think that's it.
Oh, are we at the presents part?
Oh, we are at the presents part.
I'm excited.
All right. Hang on. I have added a permanent Spookum Fritz to the background of the podcast.
It's incredible.
So I had to use wire and hooks and dowels.
Oh,
and
doweling as well.
There's a giant styrofoam ball in his head, and every time I tried to hang it up, the hook would rip out of his head. And then I realized you drill a hole all the way through and then tie it to a dowel underneath.
Oh.
So there's like a wooden stick underneath the ball that is tied to that supports the whole thing. There.
Okay.
I did crafts.
That's a lot of work. I love it.
Yeah.
That back wall looks incredible.
Looks great.
It's mostly stuff about Rody and PTH. There's right under the frig is the palimpsest poster.
It's the story of our friendship.
It is. It really is.
It's really starting to look like the Bat Cave down there.
It's good.
Now, I have written a poem.
Oh, Jesus. Terrified now.
And now, Cage has told me in reading this that she says Americans don't use the word bum.
I know what it means.
And I have used it several times throughout this.
Yeah.
Once in immediate succession. Here we go.
Oh, boy.
The night is dark and full of terror, just like Fritzy's derriere. It's full of shit and cloaked in hair. That's Fritzy's plump posterior. Even as a sweet young child, his anus hairs were long and wild. With comb and mousse it could be styled. On rotary phone the doctor was dialed. He said, "It's weird, but not life-ending. He may have trouble with befriending other children at the park with bumhole hair so thick and dark." So Fritzy led a solemn life until he met his darling wife, whose kinks were few but whose heart was ample. But for science she took a sample. To her lab and under scope she found something that gave him hope. Deep within his bum fur she unearthed a mighty cure. When mixed with blood and blue whale cum and inserted back into his bum, when tooted out it gave an answer. It became the cure to cancer. Finally, Fritzy's life had meaning, and after heavy-duty cleaning, Fritzy made a fortune in big pharma sales while getting fucked by huge dick whales.
Oh, wow.
Huge dick whales?
Yeah.
Oh.
The blue whales, they have the largest penis.
Yeah.
That's why
they're huge.
Yeah.
Oh.
I like the use of bum fur.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's so many good things. Did you have to use a rhyming dictionary at all for that?
No.
You just...
It's what I do for a living. I write bum rhymes.
That's great.
I concede.
No, you don't have to concede, Tim.
I mean,
no,
we'll make Tim.
We clearly know.
Yeah, it's not even a contest.
That was wonderful.
It's not even.
I do really love the Spook 'em Fritz, though. I truly do.
No,
I do. I love it too. But that poem is. Do you have it written down?
Of course.
Can you send it to me? A copy of it?
Sure. I can just forward the note directly to you.
Wonderful. I definitely need to give it show it to Jenny, and then I need some way to make it into art that I put up on my wall.
For all the world to gander.
Yeah, everyone must know.
So with that, I think that's it. Screw, do you remember the send-off line?
Yeah, but I was trying to see if I could tie it into the poem some way.
Oh.
But I don't think I can, so I'm going to mess it up. I'm nervous the first time I messed it up.
Don't mess it up this time then. Just do it right. Say the right words in the right order this time and it won't be a problem.
That's right.
All right, well, thanks for having me on, and everyone can go eat shit and go fuck themselves.
Fuck yourself! easy, see?